Boris Nemtsov was shot dead on Friday night in Moscow. He was an opposition politician, a vocal critic of the Putin regime, and against Russia's involvement in Ukraine. On today's press review for Ukraine Today, we take a look at what Nemtsov's murder means for Russia. First, we turn to a piece from the Financial Times. They write that Nemtsov was a casualty of a wider war that's being fought by the Kremlin across the entire former Soviet Union to create a Russian world. The piece is put together by Grigory Yavlinsky, who is the founder of Russia's liberal Yabloko party. Opponents of this logic, such as Mr. Nemtsov, have dared to call it what it is: annexation, aggression, and fratricide. The tragedy of Mr. Nemtsov's murder is how it has made it clear that the war is not only about foreign policy. It is a major domestic problem for Russia, and one that is disfiguring its society. Moving now to a piece from The Guardian, their editorial team writes that the brazen assassination under the eyes of the Kremlin security cameras shows the true character of the Putin regime. Putin announced shortly after the murder that an open investigation was needed to find out who was responsible and that Putin himself would take control. By placing the Russian official investigation into Mr. Nemtsov's death under his direct control, Mr. Putin has ensured that nothing unfavorable to him or his regime will ever come out of this inquiry. It is an egregious sign of the concentration of powers in Russia, and that the work of the police and judiciary should be so openly placed under the authority of the presidency. And finally, from Forbes, they write that the rally on Sunday in Moscow, where tens of thousands of people turned out to mourn Nemtsov's death, should worry leaders in Russia. These mourners were people that believed what Nemtsov believed, that rule of law should reign in Russia and corruption should be eliminated. If the opposition has an ounce of fearlessness, they could use Nemtsov's death as a call for change in the Kremlin. The problem is, this will not go over easy with the powers that be, namely President Vladimir Putin. That's all we have time for today. Join us again tomorrow for another press review from the Ukraine Today newsroom in Kyiv.